God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains. That was Sean Parker, Facebook's first president, the man who helped build it, and he's terrified. That wasn't a metaphor. The pull-to-refresh gesture on your phone uses the exact same psychology as a slot machine: variable rewards, unpredictable payoffs, the anticipation of not knowing what comes next. Variable reward schedules are up to 3 times more addictive than predictable ones. Casino designers figured this out decades ago. Silicon Valley just moved it into your pocket. There's a lab at Stanford University that taught an entire generation of tech founders how to hack your brain. It's called the Behavior Design Lab, founded by B.J. Fogg. He coined a term for it: captology, computers as persuasive technologies. Instagram's founders, they trained here. Fogg created a formula: behavior equals motivation plus ability plus prompt, B equals map, make the action easy, trigger it constantly. The behavior becomes automatic. Every app you're addicted to follows this exact blueprint. But there's another model, even more powerful. Nir called it the hook model. 4 steps, repeating forever: trigger, action, variable reward, investment. A notification triggers you, you open the app, you get an unpredictable reward, maybe likes, maybe interesting content, maybe nothing. Then you invest, you post, you follow, you comment, and that investment, it becomes the trigger for the next loop. The average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That's not a habit. That's a hook. In 2006, an engineer named Arza Raskin got frustrated. He was browsing Google, clicking next page over and over, tedious, annoying, so he invented something, a way to keep scrolling forever. No pages, no end, he called it infinite scroll. Today it's everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Arza Raskin, he now calls it behavioral cocaine sprinkled all over your interface. See, pages had a natural stopping point. A moment where your brain could ask, do I want to continue? Infinite scroll removed that. There's no end, no decision point, just more. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain. This is your nucleus accumbens, part of your brain's reward system. When something feels good, this lights up. This is your brain on Instagram. This is your brain on cocaine. Same regions, same pathways, same neurochemistry. I'm not saying scrolling is the same as doing drugs, but your brain, it can't tell the difference. Every like, every comment, every new piece of content, a tiny hit of dopamine. But here's what most people don't know. Dopamine doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes during anticipation. The moment before you see how many likes you got, the pull to refresh, the loading screen. That's why you keep checking. It's not the reward, it's the wanting. 8.25 seconds. That's the average attention span of Generation Z, down from 12 seconds for millennials. On social media specifically, 6.5 seconds before they decide to scroll past. A 15-minute TikTok session, 30 to 60 different pieces of content, each one training your brain to expect stimulation every few seconds. Your brain adapts. It rewires. It starts to need that constant input. And then you wonder why you can't focus on a book anymore, why long conversations feel exhausting, why silence feels uncomfortable. Your attention span wasn't always like this, it was trained. This is your prefrontal cortex. It controls impulse control, decision-making, long-term planning. It's not fully developed until you're 25. For teenagers, social media isn't just affecting a developed brain, it's shaping one that's still forming. A 2023 study in JAMA Pediatrics found that habitual social media checking is associated with changes in functional brain development, not metaphorical changes, physical, measurable, visible on brain scans. The regions responsible for reward processing, social cognition, emotional regulation, all altered. Scroll through Instagram for 5 minutes. What do you see? Perfect vacations, perfect bodies, perfect relationships, perfect lives. Your brain is wired for social comparison. It's evolutionary. We needed to know where we stood in the tribe. But evolution didn't prepare us for this, comparing ourselves to thousands of curated highlight reels, every day, every hour. In 2021, a Facebook employee named Frances Horgan leaked thousands of internal documents. Facebook's own research, their own data. And here's what it said: we make body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls. 32% of teen girls said Instagram made them feel worse about their bodies. 13% of British users traced suicidal thoughts to Instagram. They knew, they had the data, they kept going. Look at this graph: teen depression, teen anxiety, relatively stable for years, and then around 2012, something happened. 2012, the year Instagram hit 100 million users, the year the smartphone became ubiquitous, the year social media went from optional to essential. Social psychologist Jonathan Haidt has spent years studying this. He calls it the Great Rewiring. We conducted a massive experiment on an entire generation of children, and the results are in. Today, 46% of American teenagers say they're online almost constantly. Not sometimes, not often, almost constantly. But don't take my word for it. Listen to the people who built these platforms. Sean Parker, Facebook's first president, the thought process was, how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible? JAMA Pediatrics, former VP of Growth at Facebook, the short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops we have created are destroying how society works. Tristan Harris, former Google design ethicist, never before in history have 50 designers made decisions that would have an impact on 2 billion people. Arza Raskin, inventor of Infinite Scroll, behind every screen on your phone there are literally 1,000 engineers that have worked on this thing to try to make it maximally addicting. These aren't critics. These aren't outsiders. These are the architects. We understood this consciously, and we did it anyway. So why would they design it this way? Follow the money. Social media companies don't sell products, they sell attention. Your attention, to advertisers, you're not the customer, you're the product. Every second you spend scrolling, your attention is being auctioned to the highest bidder. The more addictive the platform, the more attention they capture, the more money they make. There's no incentive to make it less addictive. The incentive is the opposite. But here's what they don't want you to know. The same brain that can be rewired by social media can be rewired back. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new connections, to change, to heal. Studies show that reducing social media use leads to measurable improvements in well-being within weeks. Attention spans can recover, anxiety can decrease. The comparison trap can loosen its grip. Your brain is not permanently broken, it's adaptable, that's the whole point. The same plasticity that made it vulnerable makes recovery possible. So what can you actually do? 1. Grayscale mode, those colorful icons, designed to grab attention. Remove the color, reduce the pull. 2. Notification audit, turn off everything except what truly matters. Every notification is a trigger, remove the triggers. 3. Time limits, not willpower, architecture, make the phone work for you, not against you. 4. Phone-free zones, bedroom, dinner table. First hour of the morning, create spaces where the loop can't reach you. For parents, Jonathan Haidt proposes 4 new norms: no smartphones before high school, no social media before 16, phone-free schools, more independence and free play in the real world. The goal isn't to quit technology, it's to choose it, consciously, instead of being chosen by it. You just watched for 12 minutes, think about that. In an age of 8-second attention spans, you stayed for 12 minutes. Shock statistics, pattern interrupts, revelations, insider quotes, anticipation before every payoff. We used the same techniques on you, the same psychology, the same hooks, the same dopamine triggers. The difference, we told you the truth, we showed you how it works, we gave you something useful. Now you can see the strings, and when you can see the strings, you can choose to cut them. Your brain is remarkable. It adapted to a world that didn't exist 20 years ago. It can adapt again. The engineers who built these systems are speaking out. The science is clear. The choice is yours. If this helped you see something differently, share it with someone who needs to see it too.